The air hums with a quiet stillness, broken only by the soft, rhythmic tap of raindrops kissing the window pane. Each droplet lands with a faint, silvery plink, a sound that weaves itself into the fabric of the night, steady and unhurried. Beyond the glass, the world blurs into a gentle wash of grays and greens, where the leaves of an old oak tremble ever so slightly, their edges brushing the ground with a hushed rustle. The coolness of the evening seeps through the frame, grazing your fingertips as they rest against the sill, a tender chill that settles into your skin like a sigh. Somewhere distant, a low murmur of wind rolls through the trees, carrying the earthy scent of damp moss and rain-soaked bark, a fragrance that lingers in the air, faint yet grounding. The light shifts subtly, softening as dusk folds into night, casting delicate shadows that dance across the room. The rain's cadence slows for a moment, then quickens, a playful rhythm that draws your gaze to the streaks of water tracing jagged paths down the glass. There's a warmth here too, in the way the glow of a nearby lamp spills golden hues onto the floor, brushing against the edges of a worn rug. The texture beneath your feet is soft, yielding, like the earth after a long shower. And then, amidst the symphony of dripping water and whispering leaves, a flicker, a sensation stirs at the edge of your mind. A presence, perhaps, or a memory just out of reach, its echo faint like the distant chime of a bell lost in the storm. It calls to you softly, a thread of calm woven into the rain, teasing your thoughts with the promise of something familiar, something safe, waiting to unfold. The rain taps on, a steady companion to the quiet ache that settles in your chest some days. You know it well, the weight of a storm that isn't just outside, but within. There was a time when mornings felt lighter, when the clink of a coffee mug against the counter was a simple start, not a task to muster strength for. Now, that sound feels distant, muffled by the hum of deadlines, the pull of years piling up, the soft regret of moments you meant to hold onto, but let slip. You see it in the mirror sometimes, a flicker of the man who laughed through downpours, who stood tall against the wind, now softened by fatigue, by the slow drip of life's demands. It's not just the big losses, is it? It's the small ones too, the way a quiet evening alone feels heavier than it used to, the way a familiar song on the radio stings with nostalgia for a road trip you can't quite place. There's a longing there, a yearning for the ease that once came effortlessly, now buried under layers of doubt and the steady march of time. The rain understands, doesn't it? Each drop mirrors that tender pang, falling and falling, a rhythm that knows the weariness of carrying on. And yet, through the haze of it all, something stirs again, that same faint whisper from the edges of your awareness. A voice, perhaps, soft as the breeze slipping through the window, brushing against your ear with the hint of comfort yet to come. It's nearer now, lingering in the spaces between the raindrops, threading through the ache like a promise you can almost touch, though its shape remains just beyond your grasp. The rain softens to a gentle patter, and in that stillness, a presence steps forward, a confidant from memory, his voice low and warm, like the crackle of a fire you once sat beside. He's here now, standing just behind you, his words brushing your ear as the cool scent of rain mingles with the faint musk of old wood from the window frame. Remember that night, he murmurs, and the air shifts, pulling you back. You're there again, sitting on a porch, the boards creaking faintly under your weight, the sky a deep velvet streaked with silver. The rain drummed then too, a steady beat against the roof, while your laughter mingled with the clatter of a tin mug resting on the rail. The damp air kissed your skin, cool and alive, and the world felt wide, unshaken. Another memory unfurls, softer now. A late drive home, the windshield streaked with rain, the wipers humming a sleepy tune. The glow of streetlights blurred into halos, and the warmth of the heater wrapped around you like a blanket. You felt it then, peace, steady as the road beneath you, the storm outside just a backdrop to a quiet strength within. The confidant's voice weaves through it all, tender and sure. And that afternoon, he says, by the lake, the scent of wet pine fills your nose, the sound of water lapping against the shore, a faint echo in your ears. You stood there, boots sinking into the mud, watching ripples spread across the surface, each one catching the light. The rain fell in whispers, and your breath slowed, the weight of the day slipping off your shoulders like a coat you didn't need anymore. He pauses, letting the memories settle, the suspense of that flickering presence finally taking shape. That was you, he says, his tone rich with quiet pride, finding calm amidst the storm. The rain outside taps in agreement, a rhythm tying those moments to this one. The cool breeze grazing your ear as his words sink in, grounding you in a past where tension melted away, where you were enough. The confidant's voice wraps around you now, soft as the rain's gentle fall, a steady murmur against the window pane. You've carried so much, he says, his tone a balm, but you don't have to hold it all tonight. The words settle into you, easing the knots you didn't know were there. The faint warmth of his presence like a hand resting lightly on your shoulder. The storm doesn't take from you, it shapes you, he continues, his reassurance building like the slow rise of dawn. every drop that falls, every gust that bends the trees, it's not here to break you. It's here to remind you how strong you've grown. The suspense unravels fully now, tied to that lake afternoon. You stood there, he says, rain on your face, and you let it all go. The worry, the rush, it slid into the water with every ripple. That's still in you. The memory glows vivid, the cool dampness on your cheeks, the earthy scent of the shore, the way your shoulders loosened as the storm became a friend. That calm isn't lost, he promises, his voice lifting you gently. It's waiting, ready to rise again, steady as this rain washing the day clean. He lingers, his wisdom unfolding like the soft rustle of leaves outside. Storms don't last forever, but what they leave behind does. You're not diminished, you're deepened. The years, the weight, they've carved a space for peace you didn't have before. His words stretch wide, touching the universal. Time doesn't steal, it trades. Fatigue for resilience, chaos for quiet. The rain echoes him, its patter a thread back to the oak trembling in the dusk, the golden lamp spilling light across the room. You're here, he says, and that's enough. Let the storm sing you to rest tonight. Let it carry the tension away. The comfort deepens, a tide of hope swelling through you. Sleep will come, he whispers, soft as this breeze against your skin, steady as the earth beneath your feet. You've weathered more than you know, and you'll weather this too. The rain slows, a soothing lull, and his voice anchors you to a truth as old as the world. You are more than the storm. The rain has hushed to a faint drizzle now, a delicate murmur against the glass, like the last notes of a lullaby fading into silence. The confidant's presence lingers, warm and quiet, his voice a soft breath brushing your ear one final time. The night's yours now, he says, and the scene unfolds slow and rich, the window pane cool to the touch, streaked with glistening trails, the air heavy with the scent of wet earth and distant pine. Beyond, the oak stands still, its leaves glistening faintly in the dim glow of the world settling down. The breeze slips through, gentle and light, carrying the day's last whispers away. You've walked this far, he murmurs, his tone a tender echo of the journey shared. Through the rain, through the ache, to this quiet place. The room feels softer now, the rug beneath your feet a gentle cradle, the lamp's golden light pooling like a promise of rest. His voice fades, not abrupt but gradual, like mist lifting from the ground. Sleep well, he says, and the words drift off, mingling with the distant ripple of water somewhere far beyond the glass, a sound that wraps you in serenity. The storm has passed, leaving only peace in its wake, a peace that settles into your bones, slow and sure. The coolness of the night brushes your skin one last time. The faint rustle of leaves a final goodbye from the world outside. Tell me of a moment that lingers in your heart, his voice whispers, faint now, a thread to carry into the stillness. And then he's gone, the rain a soft memory, the night stretching wide and calm before you. The window holds the quiet, the breeze a last caress, and you're left with the gentle weight of rest, a gift from the storm that's faded into the dark.